Hello everyone, Chris here, and today I will just quickly take you through some fun facts and things you might have known or not known about in Dead by Daylight. I'm not saying all of these fun facts are going to have a big impact on your playstyle or even have any sort of practical implications, but I think I have a few that might be cool to know about. So let's just get straight into the video. Number 1. Let's start with the pretty useless one. Have you ever wondered if you can blind Victor? Well, yes. Yes, you can. Unfortunately, this doesn't prevent him to leaping towards you, and seeing as you move slower while aiming a flashlight and need to be somewhat in front of him to do so, trying to blind Victor is probably a really stupid thing to do. But it's possible, and maybe if you have another survivor nearby, you can double tag him and blind him pretty quickly. Number 2. Speaking of flashlights, how this works is that it takes a certain amount of seconds to successfully blind a killer, but this doesn't reset to 0 once you stop the blinding attempt. Rather, it depletes at the same rate as the blinding attempt itself. So if you almost got a blind on a killer that is carrying a survivor, for example, and the killer is a bit uncautious, you might still get a blind on him, which can take some killers by surprise. Having 2 flashlights will also add the speed together for a much faster blinding attempt. Number 3. This might be something that most people was aware of, but honestly, I wasn't until recently. At both swamp maps, if a survivor disturbs the crows around the main building or the boat, the sound of the crows can be heard around the entire map. You could use this as a killer as it gives you an indication that there is a survivor nearby in that area. Number 4. Did you know that there are 3 ways of escaping a hunt when facing the knight? Either by getting hit by the guard or the knight himself, during the hunt till it expires, or by unhooking another survivor. Now, the fun part is that you don't have to unhook the survivor to make the guard go away. All you need to do is just do a gentle tap on the survivor and it will instantly cancel out the hunt. Now, this seems to be kind of unknown by many people, but would be extremely useful to know as you have more ways of playing around this. Let's say a knight is using the guard to camp a hook. Well, as stated, as soon as you get spotted by the guard, simply tap someone on the hook to make it go away. Or you can even use this to cancel out any hunt as long as there are a hook survivor nearby. Number 5. This is one of the creepiest things in the game, and when you realize it, there is no turning back. The statues surrounding the shrine at the Yamaoka estate are always watching you. If you turn your camera back, you will see those stone cold, empty eyes looking at you. No matter where you go, they are always watching you. It's by far the creepiest thing in this game, and I absolutely love it. Number 6. When you lunge towards a survivor, your lunge speed is always 1.5 times your current speed. Meaning, the faster you move, the faster the lunge will be. Just for fun, I tried to see how fast I could make the lunge. I first tried it with Spirit and the Mother-Daughter ring that would give me an insane speed while facing, but even though you're supposed to keep the speed post-facing for a brief second, I didn't get this to work. So I went with the second most fastest killer, who is Sadako. Now, before you go haywire, I'm talking about movement speed where we are still able to do a normal lunge. Both Sadako and Wraith have the same movement speed when they teleport or uncloak, at a rate of 6.9 meters per second. Legion, even with the add-ons that speeds him up during the frenzy, will only get up to a total of 6.2 meters per second. So I did a test to see how fast I could get the lunge to be. So I used the perks Play with Your Food and Noed for the extra speed, and Coop just to have an even longer lunge just to see how it looked. And this was the result. By my calculations, that should give me about a base speed of 7.6 meters per second, meaning the lunge is around 11.5 meters per second. That sounds a lot, but compare this to, for example, Wesker, his charge speed is 14 meters per second. Number 7. Adrenaline is arguably one of the best survivor perks out there, especially in a survive with friends, though it is of course somewhat situational, but as with all situational perks, when it works, it works. From a killer perspective, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty annoying seeing the injured survivor you were chasing for the last 30 seconds all of a sudden sprinting away from you fully healed. All in all, I think it's a pretty balanced perk as it's somewhat situational. It might or might not work out at all depending on the situation or the killer you are facing. But in the hands of someone who really knows how to use it, it can be an amazing perk. Whenever the last generator is repaired, you're fully healed 1 health state, and you gain 150% movement speed for 5 seconds. If you are deep wounded at the point of activation, adrenaline will remove the deep wound instead. For most people, knowing this would be enough, but my brain doesn't work like that. I need to know how this works against certain killers' powers. So let's say you're up against a trapper. What happens if you get stuck in a trap as the exit gates are powered? Well, if you manage to release yourself, you are fully healed afterwards. But what if the trapper have the Honing Stone add-on that makes you enter the dying state when you release yourself? Well, you become injured instead. That is also pretty damn nice. And as you can see, if you have Soul Guard, this would trigger as well. Number 8. Speaking of the trapper, did you know that you can 99% your heals and stepping into a trap doesn't reset it? Meaning you can be 99% healed, step in a trap, release yourself, and just tap the heal button to be fully healed. This could be an insane counter to the trapper's Bloody Coil, which injures you when you disarm a trap. Just have someone being 99% healed disarming the traps, and as soon as any danger is nearby, just pop the heal and you are healthy. You could probably use this as a mind game as well if you are playing with a friend. Have yourself being 99% healed and step in a trap. Have your friend nearby, and as soon as the trapper comes closer, just release him and he can pop his heal to become fully healed. Now, let's just take a moment to see how the trapper's traps works with the syringe. What happens if you use a syringe before stepping on a trap? It will still work, even if the syringe activates as you are still trapped. It will heal you as you release yourself. Again, what if the trapper has the Honing Stone? Will it work then? And yes, it does. It even works if the trapper slaps you in the back of your head as well. But as with adrenaline, this doesn't trigger perks like Soul Guard. Number 9. Did you know that the perk Hoarder also works on items like Wesker's or Nemesis antidotes and Pinhead's box? If there would ever be a use of the perk Hoarder, it would be on either of those killers, most noticeably Wesker or Pinhead. You'll get a notification every time someone picks up these items within 64 meters of you. Unfortunately, as the perk description doesn't say anything else than you'll get a visual notification, perks like Lethal Pursuer doesn't work to extend this duration. Number 10. This one I really don't have a logical explanation for, but if you look down as you're using your chainsaw as Bubba against a window, it will extend the hitbox. So let's say you are chasing a survivor with your chainsaw sweep and they vault a window, and you might think you can still get them. Look down as you bump the window to have a greater chance of hitting them. Why this is, I have no idea, but does it work? Yes, it does. And there you have it. Hopefully for you watching this, there was at least one fun fact in this video that you didn't know about. If not, then I'm really sorry I wasted your time. If you did learn at least one new thing from this video, then please feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel as there are more tips to come in the future. And with that said, until next time, cheerio!